Welcome to Workout Master episode 28. This is Ruben.
You're Aram.
I am Aram. And
I remember that much.
We're going to talk about endurance training today. Two of us not endurance athletes, that's for sure.
Nah. I did some endurance training many years ago.
You did?
But yeah, I did a lot of mountain biking. So
well, I play soccer, it's semi-endurance.
No, it's not.
Anyway, so even though we're not endurance athletes, we do train quite a lot of endurance athletes.
And now, let me make a little caveat, to what was coming up. Actually, I don't train a lot of endurance athletes. I treat a lot of endurance athletes that have gotten hurt.
I train a lot of endurance athletes and I treat them too.
Good.
And that's why we actually, coming from the background of a lot of injury rehabilitation, we find over years that some things can create more injuries than others.
Absolutely.
Yeah? So we would want to cover up what is the good things about the trainings, because it definitely has good things to offer.
Yeah.
And then we talk about cons, just like we talked about pros and cons for group training and exercise classes. So let's tear this one apart. Alright, endurance training, guys. Like today I had a client, beautiful lady came out to my office and we talked about endurance training. She has a goal of competing at half marathons. It's not necessarily competition, she's interested more in the health. And my first question was, do you love running? And I think that's an important question to ask yourself. Do you do it because you love it, or you do it because you think it's going to make you healthy? And what I think is if you answer that I do love it, then by no means it is a beautiful thing to do for yourself. If you're just doing it for health related reasons, there's probably a lot of different ways how you can accomplish the same thing.
Many more.
Many more.
Yes.
So if you love it,
we have nothing against it.
We have nothing against it. If you love it, run, swim, bicycle, whatever that activity that you love doing, by no means, it's excellent. Just remember, everything has its upside and downside. So we're going to discuss the upside and downside. Yeah?
Right. So tell me one of the upsides.
Upside?
Yeah.
Anytime that you love something and you're doing it with love, it will definitely benefit you.
Good. From my perspective, being more of an explosive athlete than actually endurance, although I did much endurance training much younger, I think it's painful as hell, especially when you're training in the right conditions to make yourself a real endurance athlete. It's not my nature to feel pain constantly, for 2 hours when I'm climbing, mountains with my bike. I don't like it. I've learned to hate it now.
Some people love it.
I don't.
That's the beauty of the world, that some people love one thing and other ones like another thing.
And they think that typically those people, they are built for that type of a sport,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Our nature is to be more type 2, muscle fiber, fast twitch, and my body does not adapt well. For me to get to a level of endurance that I think it will be worthy of mentioning, it takes so much work out of me, and it puts so much stress on my body, and I have to dedicate so much time to rest and recuperate that at the end, it's not worth it, because it's going to consume a good third of my day.
Yeah, that definitely takes time.
Right.
A good reason to do something like this is to burn calories. You definitely do burn calories if you are into calories. Now, as if you know, because you probably watched a bunch of episodes that we had, we're not necessarily into counting calories or anything. But, exercising, it does create exertion. Exertion does burn calories. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. So
what do you think?
Con to that will be that, for example, if your mindset is to burn calories, yeah, you're gonna burn calories, of course you are. But with one risk, is that your body progressively will burn less and less. So what are you gonna do? Run more, or bike more, or swim more, and eat less to burn the same amount of calories and maintain the same shape? That's at that end. However, because it will make you very metabolically inefficient in the sense that it makes you very caloric output very efficient. So that means that you'll get more done with the least amount of energy expended. If your goal is to get really, really in good shape, be very lean, be fairly muscular, whether you're male or female to the degree that is to your liking, endurance training is not the way to do it. So that's my con about reclining.
It's not the way to do it for him. You can still try it and see maybe it works for you.
No, because I told you I hate the pain of doing endurance training, so I'm not going to do it. And don't get me wrong, I love bicycles, and I love to go to the beach and swim, although I swim like a wounded buffalo to a degree. You know, running, unless I'm being chased, I don't run. You know.
All right.
I'd rather face it.
Another great benefit I find is just the challenge. I totally understand the beauty of putting some incredible challenge in front of you and working towards accomplishing it. You know, like if you never ran anything and all of a sudden you decide to run a marathon, in a way it's a great challenge. It teaches you how to go out there, how to get what you want, how to accomplish something. I think it's a beautiful thing. Now, what's important to know that you cannot possibly get hurt.
Yeah. So that's another point. Do not attempt any endurance training to a degree of severity or intensity unless your body is properly fit. And by meaning that you have no orthopedic injuries of any kind, and if you do, you have to restore them. You have to rehab yourself. Make sure that your body is really, really well put together as far as having core strength and everything to be able to ameliorate the stress that you're going to put in your body. So do not go into running or cycling for the sake of doing some type of exercise and take it seriously, because that means that you will get hurt eventually and it's going to set you back. The injury might set you 2-3 months back while you're rehabbing yourself if you do a proper rehab, otherwise it might take forever or never get done, and that's not the way to do it. Okay. So you have to have certain structural integrity before your body can afford to do any kind of endurance training.
Yeah,
and I see it all the time. I mean, here in Miami there's a ton of cyclists and there's a lot of runners, and you see some of these people cycling. You see a lot less with the cyclists that I happen to see with the runners because it's much more obvious. But these people, I know they mean well, and I wish them the best. But you see them running, they have the worst gait in the world, they have the worst posture in the world. You look at their faces and they're almost in tears. And I'm thinking, what? Why are you doing this to yourself? Why do you need so much pain to feel alive?
One thing that I was doing for years, back when I lived in Pasadena, I used to go to Rose Bowl, and there's a excellent 3-mile loop around the Rose Bowl, and anytime I go there, I always wanted to get some business cards, because when you run and you see people in front of you running, the amount of weird gait patterns that you see are just incredible.
Slapping
incredible.
Their feet, one foot going the direction, the other one they're tilted to the side,
You guys, you don't need even a coach to figure it out. These days you have an iPhone, you have cameras. Just put a camera, run in front of it. If you don't understand anything about it, ask somebody to look. You'll see like your toes going out, knees going out. Yeah. So it is important to just have a base. That way you will avoid the injuries, so that way you can complete the marathon or a half marathon, whatever triathlon that you want to complete without creating any injuries.
Right. I did learn a ton of stuff, about human locomotion, reading books on human locomotion,
there you go.
Gates, and just filming people. I set up my camera in a park and just set it up and sit on a bench and just let it record for 20, 30 minutes while people are going back and forth running, and then you slow it down like really slow, and you begin to see the craziest thing, as I was taught. Feet going in all kinds of directions in the middle of the step of the gait, how they absorb energy, how they propel, how they propel themselves. You see amazing stuff. And you say, well, those are imbalances that the body has. That body itself is not prepared to do this kind of training, because it's going to be a repetitive overload pattern on the joints, and you wear them out, you'll develop all kinds of inflammation, and there goes your career, or your hobby, running, cycling, swimming, whatever.
So one of the things you can do, if you get some sort of injury, pain and aches in the joints, pay attention, guys. It doesn't happen for no reason. There's a reason, and there's a way of your body telling you that what you do does not work for you. We're going to repeat a lot of same things, but the reason is because they work, and then we tend not to pay attention.
And go join a really good running club. We have tons of them here in Florida, in Miami.
Find a coach.
Find a coach, a running coach. He's going to tell you exactly where you're wasting your energy and where do you need to put your strength in. Find a good swimming coach. I did it. I was swimming really, really, really bad, and I wanted to swim better. Just having a good technique
will definitely help you with avoiding injuries.
Yeah, my coach was an ex-Olympic, medalist. So
Right.
the guy knows how to swim. Although he did it many years ago, he knows how to put it together. And the same thing if you're cycling and stuff like that. Find a good coach that's going to tell you what you have to do to minimize the stress in your body and to maximize the strength of the body. And that's it. Don't focus so much on the negative, like I put a lot of effort on it, but put more emphasis on your strength that are going to help you overcome those negative aspects of the stress that you're putting into your body.
I think another important thing is when you do endurance training, you do train your heart. So your heart is a muscle. Because you're using the heart to pump the blood, to deliver oxygen and do all this beautiful thing for your body, the heart gets quite a lot of exercise.
Yep.
Now, our approach is this is the only thing that you need to get your heart going.
No, because most people think that the only way to get your heart strong and stuff like that is to do like, running, cycling, swimming, whatever. No. Go join one of those circuit training classes, like the stuff that they do on CrossFit and stuff like that, and tell me how your heart feels after doing 3 or 4 circuits of whatever they're going to throw your way. And if your heart is not ready to jump out of your throat, then you're not working hard enough then. That's what they're going to tell you. That's not what I will tell you, obviously, but your heart will rise to 160, 180 beats per minute, that quick. So it does another type of training for your cardiovascular. All kinds of exercise is going to be beneficial to the body. Just do it to the level that it doesn't cause any detriment. Just be good to yourself. In a sense.
One very important thing about endurance training is continuous endurance training over 20 minutes. It is catabolic. It's catabolic. Catabolic stands opposite to anabolic. Anabolic is tissue building. Catabolic is tissue destructive.
Right.
Now, what happens is that your body has different energy production systems. So first your body goes to the first, it depletes one,
ATP.
then goes to the second, depletes the other one, goes to the third, depletes one, and supposedly your body has no energy, but since you keep pushing your body will have to find an alternate source of energy.
Right, insanity.
And what your body does at this particular moment, it realizes that you keep going. It has to find energy, so it starts thinking on the priorities of what's important and what's not so important. And one thing that the body does, it goes and starts burning your own muscle tissue.
Right. It will catabolize muscle tissue to draw all the amino acids to keep
So when we say catabolic, catabolic means that your body literally going to take your muscle tissue and burn it for fuel just because you're requesting to do so. Now, does the body really want to do it in the first place? I doubt it.
No.
But it has no choice because you're pushing it.
Well, they'll tell you, you're in the fat burning zone. No, you're not. The body will not sacrifice fat until it's done sacrificing all the muscle that you can't. Because it takes a lot of work to burn fat.
Exactly.
And burning muscle is a lot easier. So they say, you're in the fat burning zone. Well, unless a furnace at 800 degrees, you're not burning fat. It's very difficult.
Check out our other episode about cardiovascular training. We kind of still go into detail, and I feel like it's important to kind of brush up on these things over and over again so we get a good idea.
Right, so as a conclusion, we do like endurance training, but make sure that the body can handle it. That's all I'm saying.
And make sure if you do it, that you love what you do.
Absolutely.
You have anything else?
Nothing else.
Thanks a lot, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
So long.